Okay, so we're back with another tier list video here today. Now, last time we did the sports tier list where we ranked a few different sports that I'm most familiar with. Today we're doing something similar, but instead we're going to be ranking apps. Now, we're going to be looking at 10 different apps that I use the most on a daily basis and ones that you all have probably heard of before. Alright, here we go. Starting off the list is Instagram. Now, I've been using Instagram for nearly 10 years now, and it's definitely changed a lot since then. And that's the biggest problem. Instagram is always changing their user interface and design and constantly moving things around when they really don't need to. Nowadays, it's littered with Reels, which are just reposted TikToks, as Instagram wants to promote video content more than picture content. Overall, Instagram isn't bad, it just strays further and further from what it really is about, a photo sharing app. Instagram has to go into the C tier for now. Next up is Snapchat. Now, Snapchat was probably the go-to app for most of us during our teenage years, but the older we get, the more boring and useless it truly becomes. The days of streaks are over, and nowadays it's just blank pictures of our faces going back and forth all day. Add on the ridiculous amount of unskippable ads they play when you try to go on the Discover page, and the ridiculously cringy content from Snap influencers, and you're bound to have an app that is slowly fading away into irrelevancy. Snapchat can join its buddy Instagram in the C tier. Next up is YouTube. Now, YouTube has always been a great app to use. It's simple to navigate, you know where to find the content you want, and I feel like most people use the app over the web browser as their main form of watching content. YouTube's addition of Shorts was expected, but it feels like creators put more effort into these shorts when compared to TikToks or Reels, which gives the already saturated genre some new life. YouTube has always been a solid app, so it gets the honor of going into the S tier. Next up on the list is Spotify. So I was always an Apple Music fan until I made the switch to Spotify last year. Safe to say it was one of the best moves I could have made. Spotify is great for discovering new music, as the radios and playlists based on your music taste always have something new for you in store. Making playlists feels more personal and unique when compared to Apple Music, and it's a very easy app to pick up and use. If you're big into podcasts, Spotify puts a big emphasis on those as well, so there's always something new for you to listen and enjoy. Spotify is a great app, so it also finds itself in the S tier today. Next up is TikTok. Now, I refuse to download TikTok as I think it's the worst possible content out there for you to spend your time on. Whether it's ridiculous TikTok dances or cringy humor reels or reposted sports highlights that we've seen a million times, TikTok is the worst of the worst when it comes to social media. The fact that people can spend hours on end scrolling and getting lost in this ridiculously boring content baffles me. TikTok is the worst possible attempt at reviving Vine, which we should have let die peacefully. TikTok gets the easiest F tier ranking of the video. Next on the list is Netflix. Now, while Netflix as a company may not be great, and the fact that all they want to do is take as much money from you as possible, the app itself is pretty solid. Netflix originals are some of the best shows the platform has to offer. It's simple to navigate and does a good job at recommending you new titles. You can download shows or movies straight to your device so that you can watch them on the go, and it feels like there's always something for you to watch and enjoy. Netflix can get a respectable A tier ranking today. Next up is Uber. Uber is a pretty reliable app from my experiences with it. Tracking your driver to see how far away they are is usually pretty accurate, and prices are reasonable when it's not super busy. I've taken a few Ubers this year, and they've always been very reliable and helpful for getting me from one place to another. Uber gets the job done, so it can get a B tier ranking today. Next up is Reddit. Now, I don't use Reddit often, but I do go on it every now and then if I want to read about a topic I'm passionate about. I like that you can start a discussion about anything with anyone at any time. Reddit does have a pretty toxic side to it, but if you're just there to read about a topic you're interested in or want to discuss your ideas with others, it's pretty solid for that. I don't use it enough to give it an in-depth review, but from what I've seen, it knows what it's doing. Reddit can get a B tier ranking for me. Next on the list is WhatsApp. Now, I only really use WhatsApp to talk to people that live outside of my country, mainly in Europe, where WhatsApp is really popular. I like the simplicity of the app and how you can use it to talk to people without having to pay for messaging, but I feel like it's only really helpful for me if I'm using it when I travel. No one really uses it when you can use iMessage or Messenger, so I feel like it gets forgotten pretty often. Nevertheless, it's a pretty solid app and it gets the job done. WhatsApp can get a B tier ranking today as well. And last but somewhat least is DoorDash. DoorDash, like many other food delivery apps, is great for convenience but annoyingly frustrating to use. The high delivery fees can sometimes double the price of your order. Oftentimes what you order is not what you receive, and even when they do have promotions, it's more often than not the same price as if you were to just go to the place and order it yourself. DoorDash has a huge market for people who are too lazy to go out and order their own food, but for me, I find it to be a waste of money. DoorDash can get a D tier ranking for me. And that wraps up our apps tier list. Every app is unique in its own way, but some developers have a long way to go before producing a truly finished and polished product. Let me know what you think of each one down below, and I'll catch you next time.